Hello comrades, I'm back again and I'm still living in Wales, and yes, maybe a short one for you today. Power to the people, comrades. We must salute our masters. Right, you can see I'm really gearing up for getting into some sort of dystopian lifestyle going on here because of what's happening. Right, bit of a first thing, I'm still living in Wales, still enjoying it, still a great place to be. Not happy with some of the politicians. So I was in the middle of thinking about explaining to you what I've tried to do regarding getting information from Sustrans, our favourite and famous charity in Wales. And as I was going through the preparation of that, I then came across some other documents, as you do. And one of them was an email I sent regarding Sustrans and the funding. And I sent that to all my parties, all my members of the Senate. And this is the members of the Senate, so you can look. So if they're in your area, so we've got Mayburn, we've got Campbell, we've got Dodds, we've got Morgan, we've got Watson. Now I've said this before, Watson and Morgan have always basically been missing in action. They're not about anymore. However, the other three have always been there. Jane Dodds, will say it again, the only one who sort of replies to me. So I then sent this email, as you can see, and it was sent in May, and what I pointed out to them, and I'll talk you through it briefly, is that the Sustrans a charity, they've got all these unelected people, yet these 20 unelected people seem to have more power than the 60 elected members of the Senate. And I had to go through an election process, and they are there to represent and be the voice, according to everything I've read, of the Welsh people. And as I've said there at the bottom, these 20 unelected people are all living the dream, cycling, walking, run, swim, and they're making millions from us, the people of Wales, but at the same time making us miserable and forcing to drive at 20 miles an hour. So my statement is at the very bottom. To be clear, I want all non-government organisations banned from the public, given by the Welsh Government. So, as you say, I sort of repeat myself a bit, but then I make an ask, and the ask is to all 5 of them. I want to say, because I couldn't find the documentation, because what they tend to do is hide it a lot. So I then thought, right, where's these documents? I can't find them, I'll ask them, because in my little world, they're there to help us, not anybody else. And I then sort of got an odd reply. Now, so this is the only reply I got. And as you can see, it's dated 7th of May 2024. Right, so he thanks me for the email. And then he goes on to say, as I am not in government, I cannot provide the answers that you're looking for because I don't have any say over which organisations receive government funding. But he does agree they are too close. Right, let me just go back. So, he says he's not in government. Now, I have had a somewhat lengthy Facebook conversation with him about this statement, I'm not in government. So, let me make it clear before I move on to what I sent him back. Right, so let's just say I ran for government to be a member of the Senate. What I would be saying in all my PR work, all my promotion work, all my leaflets is, I'm here to represent you, the people of Mid Wales, and I will do my best in government. I wouldn't say, well, you know, I think we won't be in government, but really I can't do anything. Because if I said that, would I be lying or would it be truthful? Now, the other thing, some people will say, well, it's a very nuanced argument. Right, that's like splitting hairs. Right, and the way you cut through that, if you want to know, is you just keep going through the truth. Right. And this is how I manage it. I just go out with the truth. I ask a question to establish the truth. Now, so I then get to this bit, is then this is my reply. As I say, I'm sorry to read that you think you're not in government, but, you know, and I say I found it confusing, right? So basically, he represents Plaid Cymru, they did share power with Labour, and I go on to say they had a vote and they also agreed, so this is a man who's not in government but can make votes. So how does that work? That they would have another 36 people there, right? I made it clear I don't want that, and I make it clear that it should be given directly to the NHS and not increasing the size. And then I looked at his records, and he voted for the 30 mile to 20 mile an hour. Oh, geez, blanket reduction. Now, okay, so he gets to vote but in government, but he's not in government. Now, there is a little bit of a nuance. I've had the conversation. Some people say the Senate is different to the Parliament, different to the government. Well, no. If you're there and you can do things I can't do as a member of the public, you've got some power, you're in government. You sit on committees, you can do anything you want, mate. You can find information, yeah. Their mindset is, no, I'm not in government. Well, again, the shared power. He's done speeches, he gets to vote, he can sit on committees. He's in government, and this is what you're up against. Right? And as I say, I've listed them above. Right, so, and I've just said, all I asked him was to send us the documents. Is it that hard? He gets paid, he will say he represents us, and if I go through it all, if I went through, he doesn't say only if I get in government. So if I got elected, would he have to then put a little disclaimer saying, but if I'm not the main power, I don't do anything? Because literally, that's how I interpret it, that. Right, so that's just a quickie, because it's been on the back of my mind, just to try and explain what you're up against. However, you have to admit, it is hilarious, isn't it? So we pay him, he gets to go on jollies, we pay all his expenses, and then he turns round and says, I'm not in government. Well, you are in government. You go there in the workplace. Right, I don't care what you say. Look at what you've done. You've had a vote. I don't get a vote. I've not even been asked, as 500,000 plus people are. Right? You sit on committees. I never get an invite. So, yes, mate, you're in government. So, please, have a rethink. And if you're not happy about it, come and join me. Let's have a face-to-face debate. Look at the facts and see how we go on. And if I'm wrong, I'll put my hands up. I'm wrong. Right. Right, thank you for watching. Have a good day and catch you on the other side, comrade. Bye-bye.